What's up, skaters? Hello and welcome back to another video. Now, a bunch of people have asked me to cover this Nigel Jones, Carlos Lastra beef, and I thought, why not have a little bit of a dive into it and see if we can figure out exactly where this beef has stemmed from. With all that being said, let's jump straight into it. Right now, we're going to start where it begins, according to Nigel, and this is why I did not sponsor Carlos Lastra by Progress Daily, which is John Hill's channel, if you didn't already know. If we can figure it out, let's
Carlos
go.
Lastra has been repping Progress Daily since before I wanted to even put together a team. And people were shocked when I announced the first 5 riders, and Carlos wasn't one of them. The truth is, his talent is unquestionable, his love and dedication for skateboarding is unmatched, but I wasn't sure if Carlos still had it in him.
He was for one of the best on Braille, that's for sure, if not the best at the
Not
time.
for the lack of skill or passion, obviously, but Carlos falls hard, a lot.
Carlos did have a hell load of injuries and would do all the craziest stuff. Imagine nollie flipping off that drop. Yeah, that's the worst one that I've seen. Here, look. Watch this crap. Oh, on the pelvis. God damn.
Oh my Lanta.
Since he left Braille, he's been kind of a ghost, uploading less, sharing less of his life, so I had to know everything. What he's
See, that might be... that might play into it later, the fact that he's been a ghost since he left Braille, so we'll see.
Where his mind was, what happened at Braille, and most important to me, what he's doing next. But for me to truly know the scope of Carlos's journey, I had to know what made him tick, so I had to understand where he came from.
Oh, sneezing all the time.
Actually, I'm in Glendale, Arizona right now, at my pop's house.
Is that where you've been since you've been in Arizona?
Yeah, well, I've been kind of making rounds, like visiting a few friends every now and then, so for the most part, yeah, I've been here just catching up, because I haven't really been around my dad in a long time, so father, son, catching up moments.
So when you were 15, what was the last trigger that made you go, I'm going to California?
You know, I got a few offers, but it was like a personal matter, just family and stuff.
Okay, right now we're just figuring out some backstory, but we want to find out why he left Braille, I think is my opinion.
Some things that I should have done better, but, you know, in California, it's a learning experience, you know. Life has to move on, and I'm just stoked to be where I'm at now, you know. The fact that I'm still part of the industry at all.
Right.
It's great.
Why don't you think the politics favored you? Why do you think it favored the other guy?
Well, I think, labels, you know.
Okay, so right here I found the section where Carlos talks about his backstory and maybe why he left Braille, so let's jump in here.
Initially sponsor him.
Why are you there? What happened?
Well, I moved out when I was 15 years old, man, and just kind of went to California to kind of pursue the life of skateboarding and stuck it out there as long as I possibly could. I was out there for about, I think 12 years for starters, and then I moved.
Jeez, imagine leaving house at 15. Actually, to be fair, fun story. My dad actually ran away when I was 15, so I technically got made homeless when I was 15, but I didn't leave on my own accord. Either way, Carlos leaving at that age for 12 years, that is pretty crazy. And to only now just go back, I can see in a world why he would want to go back, regardless of any outside circumstances. It seems pretty legit so far. I'm not getting any bad vibes from Carlos. I just want to see what's going on and why he left Braille.
To LA for a bit. Then I went to Huntington for a few months, and then I went back to LA, and then back to Long Beach. And I think at that point I was already retired from skating competitions. At the point I'm 26 years old, and I was I want to go. What?
My man's 26 and he's retiring from competitions. To be fair, he's been doing it his whole life, but I'm 28 and I'm only just starting my competition season. The prime age of a male athlete is 25 to 35. So you've only just hit your prime and you're already backing down. I guess skateboarding, you've damaged yourself quite a lot and it could make quite a big difference that way, but still, athletic prime is 25 to 35 on average.
It'll be something new. So I got a job to pay back a lot of the debt that I was in for friends who helped me out. And I got hit up by Aaron Cairo.
Oh, right.
I had just turned pro for 3 block skateboards, so if I do this job, I'm not going to be able to sell boards at all. So that's Aaron had hit me up, and I wasn't necessarily done paying back people yet. So once I got done, I hit up Aaron, and I was like, hey, is that offer still there to go to Braille? And I ended up just jumping on that, and they provided me with a car. I just packed up everything that I owned and just took off and beelined it straight to Braille House, and I was there for a little over 2 years.
Tune in next week for part 2
Only
of
2
this
years.
video, the dive down of what happened when Carlos started at Braille.
Okay, here we are. What the hell happened to Carlos Lastra?
Just testing the waters on new areas. I might actually move out, but I can ollie stuff. And then is when I kickflipped the 3 block. I'll give John Hill the clip, but if you look in the background, there's a basketball going into the hoop in the background. And it was like the first time I was like, I'm back, let's go. So ever since then, I've just been skating on my own terms and just kind of hanging out. And if I don't feel like I have to do something, I won't do it, because I don't want to hurt myself like that again. And craziest was from a car accident. And then leading up to that, I'm glad I went back when I did, because my father passed away, and my brother
His father passed away.
It was just like a crazy year for me. So I took a hiatus for a little bit. So
Understandable.
from that point, I just kind of took it more serious and just started posting. Oh, my Instagram got hacked too. It's my original one. 277,000 followers, completely gone.
Okay, Instagram hacked. There could have been some nefarious activity there, and maybe he's just trying to cover it up. I don't know.
Everything was just within this vicinity of like a small circle that happened all at once, and I was like, oh no, what's going on here? Like, is everything against me? Nah. You know what? It's fine. I'm the type of person that always sees the good in things.
Okay.
I was like, well, I guess I got to start all over. And I'm kind of glad.
I don't know if I'm just a terrible read of character, right? But Carlos legit to me sounds like he's an actual, like, genuine guy. Obviously, I've no idea, never met him personally, never even been to LA, but
my old Instagram is 9 personalities of 8 or 9 years. So it's kind of nice to just restart, have a fresh start, and everything that you see now is everything that I want to do. Not doing anything for anybody else, but supporting what they are a part of. So I've just been hanging out, having fun, and testing the waters to new environments and just chilling.
It's got to be wild.
Okay, from the gist of what I got from watching these 2 interviews, it was the Carlos left Braille because his body was falling apart. He wanted to see some family members. He then ended up having a car crash. His brother died. His father died, sadly. At least that's what I believe I heard when I was watching. Obviously, a tragic time for Carlos, right, in the past, like 2 to 3 years or whatever it may be. Nigel to come out and say all this stuff, and for John Hill to be the one, like, interviewing him. I feel like John Hill is quite the normie skateboard guy. Like, he's the one that, if you were a bit of a controversial topic, he probably wouldn't touch you, but I don't know. That's just from what I see from the outside in. But anyway, so Carlos obviously is friends with John Hill, so that's a good sign for him in my opinion, as John is the more wholesome skate YouTuber. But now we're going to jump over to the Nigel thing and see what Nigel has to say about Carlos. All right, so here we are with the Lamont Holt interview with Nigel Jones. And basically what he asked him is his top 3 skateboarders on Braille. So we're going to listen to that and check out what that evolves into. So let's jump into it.
You might have to think on this one. Maybe you don't. 3 of them, all right? 3 skaters from Braille. Who is the best skill-wise in your opinion?
Skill-wise? Yeah.
Mowgli? For it?
Agreed.
Number 1.
Agreed.
Bro, what? Bro,
Mowgli?
fucking what?
Yeah.
I would put Ricky at number 2 though, for sure.
Mowgli is the fucking.
And
I met him at
Mowgli's number 1 right now for me because
JD
he literally he's the GOAT. Like his worth ethic, his like anything that
Talking
he
about
wants
skill-wise,
to do,
though.
Skill, it's all of that. If he has it, bro.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I just ain't really watched the skating like that.
If this nigga wants to do something, he's gonna learn how to do it.
That's amazing,
bro. And
I will say Mowgli's got mad steez, man. I love his skating.
Make it look good. He'll fucking figure it out, get it sloppy, land it, dial it in.
Fire. That's number 1.
Number 1. Number 2, JD, hands down.
JD is number 2 over Ricky? God damn, man. That's a pretty bold choice.
Bro, I've watched this kid go from like learning shit
He
to
is
now
mad diverse, though.
ripping in the vert ramp and on in the streets. Like,
Yeah, he deserves it. He deserves it.
Come here real quick.
Get in here.
Mowgli.
That dude's a ripper. Mo.
I guess Mowgli really doing
Mo,
it.
JD, bro, honestly, yeah, watching, just because I get to watch JD, bro, and I know he's not even done. Like, he's just getting started.
Yeah.
It's sick. Like, that kid's incredible.
Sneezing. What was wrong with me? I think I'm getting ill.
He's super nice. He's super kind. Hella humble. He's hella humble. His family's hella nice. Like, JD's being brought up, like, right. And then third on my list has got to be Ricky.
That's what we like to hear with athletes, like young athletes that are really good, because it can be so easy for like the ego to go to their head, especially if they're winning comps. JD seems like a super humble kid.
Okay, all right. This is what I'm confused about. You feel me? I don't really watch too much skating besides Ricky's when it comes down to the team like that, and yours. But I think Ricky number one from what I know. I guess I don't know too much. Ricky doing pop
Ricky and
shoving.
Mowgli are close, but I
pop
think
shoving.
Mowgli just about beats him out just for the pure style of Mowgli. Ricky's got some mad tricks and some mad technicality, but I think the style is slightly over in Mowgli's court, and the trick level is very, very similar. So slight advantage to Mowgli in my opinion, but very close.
Under the handrail to 50.
Ricky's like Ricky's in his. He's got to be in his own category though. Like, just the sheer amount of crazy shit that he can do on no matter what it is. It's insane. Like he's multi-talented.
Where's Ricky from again?
Australia. I think Melbourne.
When did he come out here? Do you know?
We got him out here in 2020, I think.
Okay.
He's been out here for 3 years.
Damn, I remember it was when I first started making TikToks, because when I first started making, and this is going to make me sound like a bit of a goon, but when I first started making skate videos on TikTok, Ricky was like the guy that I could see all the time, and he, I think just as I started, was then getting invited onto Braille.
Excellent. What the fuck?
And
so I started making content mid-2020.
The main reason Mo's first, bro, you don't realize.
I got to say.
Dude, this man, oh my God. It's just like all around is just a fucking just skater. You know when you got those homies that are just like skaters? Yeah. Which I like, we don't distinguish the core. I don't like to distinguish that.
Yeah, that's kind of
But there are
cringe.
people that I look at and I'm like, bro, you're a fucking like skater, dude. Like, there is a slight difference in skating, but.
Okay, so these are just the teammates now. Okay, isn't it like old Braille people like it's Carlos Lastra, right? What the fuck did you make that face for? Do we got to speak about it? Should we speak about it? I don't think we should speak about it. Last time I met him, that nigga was a cool nigga.
From everything that I
see, everybody seems to think that about Lastra. John thinks it. Lamont thinks it. Everybody at Braille obviously thought it. He left on his own terms, so there couldn't have been any like firing there. So there wasn't any like company. So there isn't any like company beef there. So I don't know.
No, behind the scenes, don't fuck with Carlos.
Okay. I don't know what the fuck. What?
This is all just Nigel saying this, by the way. Like, we've not seen anyone else talk about this. I've done quite a bit of Googling, quite a bit of research to see if I can find out anything about this beef, and I can't find anything apart from people on Reddit wanting to figure it out and people asking me to try and figure it out.
If everybody knew the info that I knew, most of y'all would not fuck with Carlos. I'm just saying that.
If it's that important, tell us.
There's a lot.
I don't know.
I hate it when people do this, right? They're like, by the way, if I told you all this, if I told you what I knew, you would hate this guy. He's evil. Obviously, he's not saying he's pure evil, but he's implying that, right? He's implying that Carlos is a really bad guy, but he's not giving us any information why. And I find that worse than just talking shit. Like, if you're going to say something, say it with your chest. And if you've got beef and someone is a horrible person, bring it up, say it, and actually get it out there. Because if he's done something nefarious, like, I don't know, hurt someone a lot younger than him, as we know we've seen in the skate industry before, or taking advantage of somebody, then we need to know. These are things that we can't just let slip.
There's a lot. He did a whole video with John Hill. I don't know if you watched that. Like the decline of Carlos.
Look, I've been out the loop with this skate shit for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
That shit was fucking bullshit.
What the fuck happened? What was the video about?
Why he left Braille and all this whatnot.
Okay. Saying some bullshit?
Well, actually, saying what I just said, obviously Braille didn't say anything about when Fetty left, but we know Fetty did get fired. Carlos could have been fired for what he did and then just told us that he left because he knew that Braille would not say anything to discredit or contradict him because they just like to keep it, hush-hush. Whereas with Fetty, it was a more common, court case because the woman's mum... because that girl's mom was going crazy all over internet, but Carlos seems to have swept under the rug. So maybe he did something just as bad, maybe even worse, and got away with it. But I've got to play devil's advocate.
I can drop a bomb right now. I mean, but it's just there's so much behind the scenes that people think they know that they don't know. That
and it seems like
how could you? There's so much behind the scenes that people don't know that they think they know, but you're not telling them or correcting them. It's like you're ridiculing someone for not knowing something, but not giving them the information at all.
I am a real honest motherfucker, and I want to give y'all real honest shit. But there's a lot of shit out there y'all don't really want to fucking hear. Straight up.
If if it's gonna change, why have I just put subtitles on? Jesus Christ, get these captions away. Yeah, if I was Nigel and I knew that this guy had done something bad, you best believe I'd be calling it out.
Straight up. It's just...
Because it needs to be done so people know they can't get away with it.
I will say, I am somebody that genuinely likes anybody. I'm not going to take, like, seeing your face as I hate you. Like, you have to give me a reason to not like you, and it takes a lot to get to my hate list. Fuck that nigga. Like, I have no respect for him. I truly don't.
Okay.
I truly don't.
So from the context of someone to say something that passionate about someone in a negative way, I would have to assume, and obviously this is just me being a bit crazy, but I would have to assume that they've done something either personal to affect Nigel, or he's done something that the majority of the world would deem as unacceptable. Like maybe he's harassed someone, maybe it's SA, maybe he's a thief, maybe he steals money, because we did see in that last video that he borrows a lot of money from people. That he said in his John Hill video, he borrows a lot of money from people and it took him ages to pay them back. So maybe it could be something related to that. I do not know.
Oh, we got skate beef in the industry. I love it.
I will say he
I love
is
that you pointed shit out.
absolutely phenomenal skateboarder.
True.
He is
True.
absolutely incredible.
That's got nothing to do with
skateboarding. That's like
He's good as fuck,
shit.
bro.
Like he's an amazing skateboarder.
So that was the Nigel Jones versus Carlos Lastra beef. Now, a lot of people may say just to keep your nose out, but Nigel has made this very public, and now I want to know, and a bunch of the other skate community want to know what Carlos has done. And if there's any new developments, send them to me on Instagram. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.